The hell? Testing. What the hell is happening? Can you hear me? Something happened. I have no idea what happened. My intro was supposed to play. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't even know what happened. I clicked to start, and somehow my intro didn't play. I know I had my intro set up. So let me know if you guys can hear me out there in YouTube land. I hope I started. I don't know what happened. I clicked to play my intro. My intro didn't play, and I'm live. Well, it's good to be live and not be dead. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is your host, Kranky. Kirk James, ML Wright. One Love came early. I have no idea what transpired a while ago. Welcome to the show. Tonight, I'm not going to be that long, to be honest, because I just had an emergency pop up. So I'm going to do a quick show and then run out. But I appreciate you being here. Too long of a break? Yeah, not busy. Hey, people, me explain to you why, Juras. You see why I'm busy, Juras. A break. It's not a real break. I've been working longer and harder than I've done in a long time, actually. Doing some stuff. And thanks for hitting the like button to coming, people. We have a lot to talk about, so I mean, only have an hour and a half to do it, and I have to run to an emergency that just popped up. I have no choice. Family thing, so. But bless up, Juras. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Juras. It's. I'm gonna have a show tomorrow, Juras. I have a show probably every day this week, probably. Well, I shouldn't say that, because I have some things I have to do. But maybe 3 or 4 shows this week. So there is no plan to have such a long hiatus. But I'll show you why I've been busy, Juras. And you and I communicated about that, Juras, before, so I'll expand upon it. Couple of things before we start the program. There are 2 main topics tonight. And I'll jump into those topics, but a couple of things. One is, bless up Devon McNeil. One is, I saw where Trump fired his, how do I put it? His economic czar, the person who run the stats to give you things like unemployment, number of jobs added for the economy, things of that nature. I think we're living in an alternate universe. I've said this a number of times, but the more I see what's happening in the US, the more you realize an alternate universe. And the more you get a little bit of sense of, some of the countries like Russia and those other countries where people don't have rights, right? Those rights have been taken away, and therefore you just live in a society where you feel trapped because you can't have a say, you can't talk out in public, you can't express yourself, you can't have dissent. It would be interesting. Now, I heard Kurt James saying Biden hired her. Let me explain something to you, Kurt James, and others who probably don't seem to realize this. A lot of times, the people who run those organizations don't generate the numbers, right? And those numbers are based on a lot of estimates, which are always subject to change. So if we're going to come with this whole concept about who hired who, that means everything should turn over every 4 years. Every single person in the federal government, every single person in state governments, every single person, every organization which utilizes public money, they should turn over when the government turnovers, right? So if you only serve for 1 term, then you should only last for that term. That should be anywhere. The concept that who Biden hired her and that's the reason, yeah, it may be the reason, but the problem I have with that is people sitting in those seats, they don't generate the numbers. They will look at the numbers, they will try to get information about how these numbers are generated. They try to understand the process. They're just a messenger. And Trump wants. So here's the next thing, everyone in the chat. So when the new numbers come out, next period when it comes out, are we supposed to trust those numbers? When it says we have added 200,000 jobs and 300,000 jobs, because this period it got 200,000 got taken off, or 70,000, we're supposed to embrace those. And then he's going to say, well, here's the problem you have with that, people. So it's a contradiction. So he wants Powell to lower interest rate to generate more economic activity because they know the U.S. is having some challenges, right? So if you do that, then and you show 200,000 jobs next time around, then the economy is going to overheat. You're going to have inflations. So it's going to be contrary to what he wants. You can't have a robust economy and you're trying to reduce rates, which is going to be inflationary. It doesn't make any sense. It's contradictory. It's dumb, frankly. But he's a dumb man, and people don't realize how dumb his ass is. So it shows you that you don't need to be too much to get into run the White House, because if you have a certain persuasion and you have some money and can convince the poor people, because there's no place in the U.S. where there was college degrees, over 40% of people had college degrees who voted for Trump. Just go look that up. No place in the U.S. Everywhere where they vote for him had a 40% in terms of who have college degrees. So intellect does matter. Intellect does matter. But that's Trump. Second point, because I said I only have an hour and a half, people. I have to run. I have an emergency I got to go deal with. But I didn't want to cancel the show. Second point, Andrew Holness went to court. Holness had a problem integrity commission, and he complains that people bad mind and them this and them that. And I did 2 programs on that. I want to do one on this one about the court situation and what transpired, but I didn't have the time. Drew Ross, I've been exceptionally busy. And the courts denied some of the things that he wanted taken out of the report. So all he did was make the situation worse. Now, the one thing that got triggered, and that was very obvious in that report, and by the way, people, those of you in the chat who are JLP, me not support no party. So no come say Kranky said this and Kranky said that and Kranky had labor, but not labor. Now I mix them up. Kranky, what you call them? Comrade and PNP. Me no party. Me never vote at Jamaica. Me never vote either. You know me a citizen. Me never vote. Me can't vote. Me live a foreign. I'm gonna take me go back to live for vote. So that not happen, right? So I'm agnostic, if you want to use the term, even though people want to quit agnostic with God and know if God exists or not. No, I'm using my own term. I don't have a stake in the game. I am not supporting either party. I'm calling it like it is. And the fact of the matter is, his net worth went from, don't misquote me, over 300,000 Jamaican in the last 20 years, so since maybe 2008, somewhere around there. You think about when he got in politics, or early 2000s. Last 20 years, it went from 300 and something thousand to 160 million. Right? Now, one could say, well, it's 20 years. One can generate that amount. But you work for the government. You ain't making no money in that government. Sorry. A pittance you making that government. Pittance. I just the other day, Nigel doubled the compensation. Because him said, boy, that can't support nobody. I agree with him, but I don't like how they did it. Right? Pittance people. 160 million. And then if you question it, them say you're bad mind. Lord. You're bad mind. Because you're going to question the compensation of somebody and he invests in some, even though nothing's wrong with this, unregulated scheme. People invest in unregulated scheme all the time. None of them have to bring that up as if that makes something. But he can't explain the wealth that he generated and the source of his wealth. That's important, right? Now, we're not living in the U.S. where Trump did them thing there regularly, and nobody can ask him a question and him not go jail feet. We live in Jamaica where, well, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to spend enough time on it. Well, I do a show on it. I do a video on it. I'll probably do a show on it. Third, the Bible. Hey, these are my theme going forward. I do election, I do Trump, I do the Bible. So I was reading something the other day. Because I'm sort of a voracious reader. You know, I read traditional book. I'll come to no comments, people. And it says, the meek shall inherit the earth. People. No. Let me talk to you now. You hear the Bible say? Am I wrong in that quote? Don't tell me, because I'm not really a Bible person, I'm not read the Bible in a long time, but remember them quote they come. I go to church every Sunday. The meek shall inherit the earth. I saw the Bible say. Bless up Tuffy Rudy, Old Day Low, DJ Gigs, Jay, Peter Mystic, bless up Peter, Tycoon, Kimar Brown. Drew said a lot of investment. Hey, Drew, when get the money for invest, Drew? That's the question. People miss that. Yeah, he invest. Me do him thing. He put him host in some scheme at St. Lucia. If you avoid taxes, and build big house at Beverly Hills, and big him house at Beverly Hills. Him have business with enough people. Him have a parliament who him bringing in as support and as friends and as something. Yeah, me read all right. Me do all right. Me do show on it. Me run back the show too. Still can't explain. And from 2017. So I don't understand this. So we're in 2025. If them saying they can't certify the thing from 2017, me not understand it. That makes no sense to me. We do some more investigation. It confusing. We move on from Holness. We go back to the Bible. The meek shall inherit the earth. People, tell me what that means, people. Can be confused. Oh, okay. I have a passport. Let me look into it. I would have questioned if he never raised this portfolio. Okay. No, he raised it, but from 3 something to 160. Anyway, that's how Wally raised Juras based on the composition that he has. And the question is 160 the total number of his portfolio? Could be less, could be more. No, it couldn't be less, could be more, because that's why I report. Kemar said most of the trucks that work on the new highway were owned by him and wifey, but who cares? I hear you. So like we have Trump and Jamaica now. You just said, Kranky, based on what you said, no money in it, but many people line up for the job, just like the JFF. Don't make sense to me. What are we talking about, DJ Gigs? Oh, you're talking about politics? Yeah. So people, answer the question. The meek shall inherit the earth. People, me tell us that I'm supposed to do the show today and come have emergency. I'm supposed to run go. I'm gonna go right after this, and me can't deal with it. 69 watching and 34 likes, you know. I think they get me perturbed. No, Juras. It's not about Juras. I would Juras. I agree with you, Juras, in terms of your portfolio increasing, but it's a big increase, Juras. Big increase. You're a politician. That's let me see it. Big increase, you're a politician. It means a humble person, God will reward. Oh. I still don't understand. Oh, I'm confused. I'm not that smart. So God's going to reward a meek person on earth, humble person. The meek shall inherit the earth. Now, if I was to think about the definition of meek, me think passive, me think gentle, me think submissive. In fact, me sure that's what the thesaurus I tell you. Right? Me sure that's what thesaurus I tell you. Now, do you guys believe, bless up Dr. Dan, do you guys believe in your wildest dream that the people who do well in the world, them passive, them meek, them submissive, them gentle, and them do well in the world? And how do we define well? Because we use monetary ways of substantiating and determining what means well in the world. Because Pierre Musk who not on talent except to generate money. I see him all the time. I see Bezos, I see Musk, I see Zuckerberg, I see what the guru name? The name will slip me now. Investment guru who live out of Nebraska. I see all them people there. Right? Do you think the people are meek? Which part of them meek? I keep telling people the Bible was written to keep down the poor man and to make the rich man keep him riches. And people write the Bible. I watch a video the other day and a man I preach Jesus in one square London. And a man come up to him and I start berate him and say, stop telling people them nonsense and fool them up about some Jesus thing. Because the day start tell me, say, I have a great God, a wonderful God, a God who supports everybody, a God is an egalitarian, a God who believes in equitable and inclusion, a God who supports the downtrodden, a God who not partial. And you come to about this God person and this Jesus person prefer some Jewish people as the preferred race. I mean, something I said the other day. What do you run the night program, Cameron? You know, I forget enough name tonight. You know, I say about yes, the Jews are the special ones. Appear bad with me because you know some BC, some MC. Me all make up bad word. Appear bad with me because Mr. Vex. Special one, chosen you. What's it? Chosen one. You choose yourself and you write some nonsense and people believe it. And we as a people have been convinced with this nonsense. I mean, nobody feels you gotta believe what you want to believe, you know. But don't come convince me to believe thing there. Because me don't think about it. I'm not saying boy your Kranky goes again. You believe in Jesus and Kranky, I fight people. No, I fight you. Do your thing. But don't come to me about no Jesus thing. I'm talking about no Jews and no chosen one. Nobody not chosen over me. In fact, black people chosen because if we use the earth as the criteria, if we not do well in life, we God support, we God make for suffer. Because we at the bottom of the totem pole. But anyway, no keep going from the come to someone love it. Pastor, where them want debate up on the channel with religion thing and with Jesus thing and the Bible thing. The more me get older, the more cranky me get when it comes to Jesus and them thing there. I mean, I understand it. Me still up, I do Reggae Boyz people, I do EPL. Fourth item I want to touch. I don't know what I believe nowadays. I don't know what I believe because I was told that so my family would tell me this, people. This is what they tell me. What do you have to lose? And I said logic. We can't live without logic. What do you have to lose? So here's the concept. And I used to live by this concept. If I believe in God and when I die, I go to heaven, voila, it's great. If I believe and I worship him, I go to heaven, right? Wherever the hell this heaven is. If I don't believe, I'm gonna go to hell. But most of the people who say they're religious, they don't really believe, you know. It's almost like some of them convince themselves to believe, but don't truly believe, you know. And then I said to people, okay, suppose I live my life the way I live today, which is this. And I talk to my niece and nephews about this. I don't talk to them about not worshiping God or whatever it is. Their prerogative. I said to them, look, just be a good person. In fact, my nephew the other day come tell me this. He said, Uncle, boy, I was trying to do the right thing. Me say, that's how you have to live your life, you know. You have to live no meek life. Nobody makes you meek. Just be a good person. Treat people right. Treat people fairly. Be inclusive. Don't have no racism, you know, no bad mind now, right? People call it bad mind. Just do the right thing. And I was talking to somebody who's religious. Them say, if you just do the right thing, you're not going to heaven. Me say, you can't keep your heaven then. Me don't want the heaven there. Me don't want the heaven man come say, man can't kill somebody. And the next day, him can go save and go to heaven. I'm thinking, I idiot thing. Idiot. Me come here, go pattern now. I idiot thing that. Fool thing. That don't make no sense to nobody. Then God shouldn't give me that brain and give me then. Because he's my fool me. Anyway, now keep going. I'll stop now. And people, where's heaven? Hey, when I grew up in the people, heaven nice sky, you know, and earth that below, because fire down there. Must use volcano. And now, we don't know heaven there. So anyway, and somebody say, well, Kranky, what's yours? How we got here? I have no idea. And we have no idea. We can speculate how we want, and the scientists don't have no idea either. Not even on black hole either. We don't even on black hole, because where the black hole come from. And here's my last point. A man write the Bible, you know. That about say woman was made from a man rib. So how come woman make from a man rib, but man can't make pitney? Man can't breed pitney. What kind of fool sitting in there? Anyway, let me go back to being eloquent and articulate and speaking a good way. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kranky Live Show. I'm thank you good to be here. No, if those who are religious, don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. So no come on program tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, by the way. I'm going to talk on religion. Tomorrow, and people, I'm under the weather a little bit. I went to a football game yesterday where games, you know, in Brooklyn, they play over 40 league. I don't know about the young league anymore. You said about the young league for youngsters. And I went there to watch a game yesterday, watch a number of games. My team I support did win. As I said before, they have an event on October 11th. Tickets are $75 if New York come. It's a fun thing. I think we have DJ Wayne coming, who's probably a well-known, I think I win in him. DJ New York. We're going to have some politicians there. We're going to have good music. You have to dress the right way. You can't wear no jeans and everything there. A semi-formal thing. But a good event. So if you're in a New York area, you want to come to a good event where you feel good and you feel safe and you want to enjoy yourself and vibe some good people, come at the event. UNISOC is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And many soccer team can say them they're on for 50 years. That just play amateur football. You may have football team like Arsenal and Newcastle do that, but not many amateur can say that. It's a Jamaican team. Actually, the one founding foreigners is actually not doing well. But I think he's on his last lap, actually. So power to him and his family. But no, we have people who started the league and then the team and then continue the team, so it's a good thing. Yes, Kevin, bro, we can't fight everything. And I just said, those who are humble and trusting God, not those who are weak and powerful, will ultimately receive God's blessing both in his life and lifetime. All right, Nitro. Hey, Nitro, anyone I know out there, and I like this, no can come debate me. Any one of you who are in the chat and say Kranky gone too far, please come and debate me. Because Kranky is to be in the same seat that you're sitting when it comes to religion. Maybe we get old, we get cantankerous. Anyway, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Jamaica time, I have Leighton Levy. You guys know Leighton, right? Leighton was worked at the former, was a reporter, not even a reporter, an analyst at the former Sportsmax. Leighton is a well-known person in the sports arena. Used to be an investigative reporter and subsequently became much more known as a sports reporter, a track and field aficionado. So he's going to join me tomorrow. And we're going to talk about him, right? Him and the sport, or sports, I should say. So Leighton's going to be here. Should be a really good conversation. Looking forward to the conversation because it's somebody I truly respect when it comes to sports. I interviewed him on Minz's channel a few years ago and then met him at the stadium, and he was kind enough to say he would come on the program. So Leighton, thanks for joining me, and hopefully we have a great discussion tomorrow. And don't listen to me at Talk About Religion. Third, so before we go further, people, so Drew Ross was saying I need to do more frequent shows. I do agree with Drew Ross. And by the way, people, if you have not subscribed, please do so. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And if you haven't shared the channel, please do so. So I did, I am working on my website. And Drew Ross said, the website, they can't finish. It's probably, Leighton is a track and field genius. Yeah, he is. And by the way, people, Leighton has a new channel. It's called Mr. Analyst. So go subscribe to the channel. Okay, you know, Leighton walking encyclopedia when it comes to track and field. So Leighton has a channel. Go support the channel, people. And come to the show tomorrow and bring your friend and family. We're talking enough track and field. We're talking much more than track and field, but we're talking enough track and field, right? Because it's a cricket aficionado. He follows football, but track to me are the one where he's made his name. So we're going to have that conversation. Make sure you hit the live button this time. Yeah, I hit the live button. Now I can sit down and I will not talk. So the reason why I've not been doing the show, because I've been spending a lot of time working on this thing right here. So this is my new website, people. No, I should freeze this now. This is my new website. It's called Sports Social News Network. It's SSNN. So here's what I need, people. I need something from you today. Once you go to the website, walk to the website. When we're done, when you go to the website, when you sign up for the website, I'm trying to get 100 people sign up tonight. Not only that, if I only have 100 people on now, I also want you to answer some polls. I have a few polls on the site, right? So here's a site. It's called Sports Social News Network. It's a regular website, right? So let me go through this for you. It's a regular website. Kind of hard to show it this way. So you can see the site, right? This is all the different sections. I'm going to go through each section for you before I start doing EPL. So maybe I'll say, Kranky, we never come to watch this, but bear with me. So this is the site. So me, I have Speed on my side, right? So if you go to the top button, the top part of the site, not the button, it tells you about the channel. So you can read the story of the channel. If you want to advertise on the channel, people, then you can see information about advertising. It has contact information. It's a little bit different from my regular information, but someone don't know if you reach me already. And then I have a button here for Kranky Live. And we'll put up my balance view channel here. You can see it. So if I click on this button, you can take it to my channel. See it? It takes you to my channel, my Kranky Live Sport channel. See it? You can just click in and I'll link videos to it, right? Now, if I go back to the site, and I go back home, I have a bunch of articles there. And Juras, that's what took me enough time, Juras. A lot of articles there. You can click here on the red to just skip through and see what the main articles are. So we have articles there on LeBron James in last season. One there about the Guyana thing. There's some research on who profits in Guyana. My name got 2% royalty. Go read the article, them people. Good article, them. Yours truly right, most of them. Guyana's oil fortune. Is it really a fortune or a problem? And people in the Caribbean get island. They don't have to do it now. They get tongue full. I have one there about China and their comeback. And then I have one there about the Jamaica. I wrote this one a while ago about, and if you update it probably more, about the our people who went to Turkey. Or they Turkey. And then you go down here, people, you can see my screen not showing away, but you can see here you have different. So there's the top stories up top, which is right here, top stories. Then you can go to latest. You can go to latest things with upon it. So we have news here. You can click on society and social. You see they have articles here. We have sports, enough sports, talk about LeBron. Talk about EPL 25. Talk about dual national. You know, the whole diaspora versus local thing. Talk about Saudi League and money and what the next best. I was doing the one with next best football player that three Real Madrid people will come up with, apart from Lamar. And if you go to the right, you can see we have their popular and recent. And these are all articles there. Enough article people. And then we have a poll here. So the poll is talking about is who going to win the EPL We have something here about voting in Jamaica election. Can you have a Jamaican thing there? So what I want you to do tonight for me, before we finish this show, is you go to the site, you try to vote on it, vote on the topics there, but also sign up for people. I mean, if you get about 100 people sign up tonight. You know, I mean, have 100 people in that chat, because people come and go. All right, so if you go through, see, there's a lot of things here. I have an article here I got to bring up. So I did write one on, if you go here, you can go soccer, then you go to CONCACAF. And in CONCACAF, I will have Jamaica stuff. I have one on Rudolph Speid, and so I click on it. See it there? If Rudolph Speid one, where I had this show that I did on him, and then below is an article that talks about him being technical advisor, right? You can go retweet people. All right, I'm going to stop that, sir. And you can give me feedback, and you can go through and give me feedback. Now, I will, but it's not there yet, Lee Young. It's not there yet, Lee Young. You have to do that, but not there yet. This is in beta, a beta test we have. The rest of the articles there, I've only on the first 3 columns. I have other articles in them, but I need to update them. So, but I'm putting it out because I've been traveling and didn't have time. So I have to update a lot of the articles that are in social and culture and money. I have a bunch of stuff. I have some articles I've written before in the money section. So if you go money and go investing, you see there's some articles there already. But anyway, that's the side, people, right? That's what I've been working on. That's why I haven't done any shows. It does take a lot of time to come up with articles. Only have one person helping me, so you know, not a good thing. But I don't really trust nobody to help me, because I like to do things a certain way, you know. So if people help me, them have to know them I do. But it does take a lot of time. I have a good team that's helping me put the site together. Those people tell me about this site take 5 minutes. Please show me the site take 5 minutes. I would love to know, because I've been going through this now since a long time where I work on it. And I don't think I'm that dumb to not understand, because I did go to AI and talk about site and what required and all that. It's not taking 5 minutes. That's nonsense. But even take it 5 minutes, maybe it is. Might want to take 5 minutes. Take my time. But it's a regular website, people. I treat my site like a ABC, CNN, because I'm tired of people giving me news that I don't respect, but then give me news and I don't trust them news. Here's one thing I learned, though, and even putting somebody against articles. You have to be very careful when you're writing, especially in the official media environment, because data that you source, it's very difficult to get the most accurate data a lot of times. I'm gonna give you some example. If you go source and say how much Liverpool play for Fabian Wirtz, you get 4 or 5 different numbers, right? How much Liverpool spend, you get 4 or 5 different numbers. So different sources. You may go to ESPN, you can go to transfer market, you can go to Muse, you can go to so many different sites, and it's never the exact. Some will put in add-ons, some will take out add-ons, some I don't know what they come up with. So it's very frustrating, but you know, somebody have to do the work. So do the work, check the numbers, make sure the numbers are right. And you guys, I'm sure I get a lot of feedback. Some people gonna be criticism. I get a lot of feedback on it. I don't mind the feedback, people. But important. Please go on site, and importantly, please vote on the polls that there. There are 3 polls, right? Who go win the Jamaica election? One is about who will win the EPL. I forget what the other one, but it's 3 of them. Please vote on them. I would really appreciate it. It's up. So the website is SS. Let me drop the website name in the chat. So I'm gonna just drop it, people. It's ssnnlive.com. If you click on it, you'll take you to the site. Now the site is still in beta, as I said. I'm still working a lot of stuff on it. But if I just drop it, trying to get some people go on the site and sign up. I was at the park yesterday. I had a few people sign up at the park yesterday. So the first time, I think I had a executive meeting with my football team. Some of them signed up, and then a few people from the park yesterday. But if you go in our site, people, log on in the right hand corner of the page I'm on now, and I'm seeing this thing right. Let me see if we can pull it up. And people say Kranky, we're not coming to talk about this, but anyway, but I do it anyway. I'll put it back up. In the right hand corner under Watch Kranky, there is a little human form. If you click on it and hit my profile, you can see you can go sign up, right? That's my signing, but you can go sign up this. All right? If your information, your password, your last name, phone number, you can sign up, people. Blessings. Couldn't find a better name? No, it's Sports Social News Network. We don't want too much fancy name, man. We don't want a nice name. It's ssnnlive.com. The name, sometimes Sometimes you have name you have name people. I go to domain, if you go to the domain name, I want them taken. I have never understood. Let me tell you something. When I try to come up with name, it's like every name in that world taken. Trust me. You'll be amazed. Even Kranky was taken up on YouTube. Kranky taken up. There's like 3 or 4 Balanced View channel. Every name seems to be covered by somebody. So, but anyway, I would appreciate the support, people. If you go on, and go on the here and sign up, you'd be appreciated, people. All right. Please go on, sign up for the site, and also please complete the poll. I want to make sure I bring back the results of the poll at some point. Maybe by the end of the show, we can look it up and see it's there. Let me take this down. All right, we'll talk some football now. So I've gone through and talked about everything we want to talk about. Talk about Trump, talk about Holness, talk about the Bible, and talk about my website. And then talk about Leighton Levy being here tomorrow. And we only have what? Hour left night show. Yeah, they do. So there were some domain name. I was gonna get a domain name. The person wanted 3,000. I was like, keep a domain name. And I'll be a 3,000 fee. The sign up is not really based on, you just sign up for the channel because I'm trying to get traffic to the channel. Right? If you have traffic to your channel, you can help get Google AdSense and get some money out of them. The sign up, the reason why I want people to sign up is this, because I'm going to be having exclusive articles. That's only going to be available to those who sign up for the channel. There may be giveaways, there may be articles, there'll be a lot for members of the channel per se. I don't want to use the word members. I may, at some point, I might have a subscription, but it won't be $10, it'll be much less for exclusive type events, right? But the sign up is important so I can generate traffic, know what the traffic is. And also, I'm going to write exclusive articles. It's just like a regular website, like a CNN or CBS. But it's in beta form, trying to work through it. There's some kinks that need to be worked out. So, yeah, that's basically it, people. If I do something, I have to do it right. That's me not do it. It don't make sense. And I've been working, you guys won't believe it, I've been spending 15 hour days working on this enough, people. I didn't realize it's going to take me this much time to do this. It's ridiculous. Seriously. Sometimes I feel like, you know what? I should even bring this out to market because this takes too much time, Star. I'm supposed to retire. I'm supposed to work this hard. I don't think I've worked this hard in 5 years. I didn't work this hard in my last job for the last 4 or 5 years. Not even close. Takes a lot of time. I hear DJ. Anyway, let's move to the football, people. Let's move to the EPL. So I'm gonna do some Reggae Boyz. I'm gonna do EPL, and then we have to run out because we have some emergency we have to deal with. So this has been a very, very interesting. By the way, people, let me say this the last time. Please go support the website. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you doing so. Support it better than you support Kranky Live, because someone doesn't support Kranky Live and those come on the channel won't even hit the like button. But anyway, so 2 things we're going to talk about is the Premier League and some Reggae Boyz football. It's been an interesting Premier League season. And Liverpool fans believe them win the league already. People, the game is played on the turf, you know. The game is not played in the transfer window. Because you have no idea how players who play outside the EPL are going to adapt to the EPL. There'll be a news. Yeah, there'll be a news. The people who sign up will also get a newsletter. It will get a combination. It may have special articles in the newsletter. It may have things there that are unique. So yeah, we're trying to work to the kinks. I'll come back with more data, people, and information to you at some point in time in the next week or so. But yeah, we're gonna have there'll be a newsletter when you sign up. And the it will have information in it. Yeah, we're not giving all the other thing right now. That's why I'm gonna sign up. I'm not sure not ask me why I'm supposed to sign up, because I'm supposed to be my loyal support. So just follow me like it's people. I do like Trump. We need people to be loyal. People need to be loyal. See? Trump demands loyalty. Me not demand. Me I ask people. Me I beg people. You can't demand on Jamaica, you know. If you go away. So I'm not demanding it. I'm asking for it. So it's been an interesting EPL season, people. So the traditional top 6, everybody in the transfer market, there's so much money in the EPL. And that's why English football is the way it is now, people, where England has gotten better, even though they haven't really won anything. But they have made the semi-final and final of most of the major tournaments, two last Euros, and also the World Cup. They have done well because they have money they can pour into the game. Just like you see with cricket with India, where India is becoming more of a dominant nation, even though they struggle with India in England in drawing the Test series 2-2. If you have money to invest, people, you can get the best support, best coaching, best system to help you. So we in Jamaica have figured out how to generate money, seriously. But back to the EPL. If I go through the teams, Liverpool is the first one, right? Whereby they have spent almost $300 million, pounds. And if you go to my website and go, we have an article on that whole transfer window so far, who has won the window so far. You can vote on that. And for their players, it's mainly 4 players, Words, Ekitike, Kirkes, and Frimpong. A lot of money, people. So if you won last year and you had the best transfer window, you should win this year. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? If you won last year and you have the best transfer window, you should just walk away with the title this year. You're like a man at top will say, well, Liverpool is not favorite. Man City is favorite. Stop the nonsense. Man City's been very quiet, frankly. So you wonder how they are. They've bought some players, and I have that in the article. So go read the article, people. I'm not going to every detail in it. But I think Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City have had very good windows. Liverpool didn't spend any money last year. They're spending both last year money and this year money. Here's what people don't understand. So when somebody said they spent 300 million pounds, doesn't mean they paid out 300 million cash. They probably could pay out 100 million cash. It could be at 50 million. That all depends on the payment period, right? So if I buy words for 110 million and I said to when buying from Leipzig, I'm gonna give you 30 million, 30 million, 30 million, and then the rest in the 4th year. That's how it works. Now, what normally happens from an accounting standpoint is not 120 million on your books either as an expense. Because the way PSR works is that you can lose more than 70 million over a 3-year period or something like that on your books. So if I give Words a 5-year contract and it's 120 million in total, it's 5 into 120, right? It's not 120 of expense on my books. So it's $24 million on my books on expense. And if I sell Kwanzaa, who's an academic graduate, for 30 million, I made $6 million profit. That sounds weird, don't it? I sold somebody for 30 million. I bought somebody for 120 million, and I make $6 million profit. I know it sounds like voodoo math, but it's not. That's how it works. So that's why you can see some teams spending all that money, and they're still making money on their books, right? Sometimes we catch up with you down the road. That's why Chelsea giving 10-year contract. So if Chelsea bought them for 50 million and give them a 10-year contract, I think they changed that rule somewhat. How it normally works for Chelsea historically is 10 into 50 is 5 million on their books as an expense. That's why they can put the funny math they do. I think they're changing the number down to 5 or 6 years or something, given what Chelsea was doing. Or they're supposed to have changed it. It sounds like funny math, but it's how the accounting works. So don't spend too much time thinking about how can somebody afford it. Those people who have academic grads they can sell and it's pure profit, they can do well. Chelsea does a lot of that, actually. Liverpool has done it more recently with Kwanzaa. One of the teams that are poor at selling talent is Arsenal is atrocious selling talent. Arsenal has to be the worst selling team in English football ever, frankly. I don't think we've ever sold a player over 35 million pounds. I can recall. I think we sold Smith Rowe for 20-something, Willock for 20-something, about 20 Nketiah. All those people I see all those players from other teams, like Liam went for 30 million. I don't think it was cheap. I heard Dewsbury Hall is going to go to Everton for 20-something million. What has Dewsbury Hall done to go for 20-something million? He didn't play for Chelsea. But that's how it works, whereby Chelsea does a good job of buying and selling. We don't. We're awful. We just spend money. We don't recoup money from sales. We may be selling Nelson. They're talking about 50 million for Nelson. Madueke went for 50-something million. I know he plays for England now, but Nelson's not that far away. In fact, Nelson looked good, actually, when he went to Asia the other day, in the cameos that he had. But he's supposed to be going to Fulham. So I don't get it, people, as to how we sell, but we're poor. But Liverpool is in a really great spot. They, to me, are the prohibitive favorite to win the league this year. They may also get Isak, and they probably can afford Isak. They may not want to pay 150. Now, the Isak thing is a really interesting thing. I want to spend some time talking about that. So I've been listening to people from Newcastle and from Talk Sports and all that talking about the transaction. And they're saying all the players are ungrateful. Eddie Howe helped him to do XYZ. Why is he striking? That's not our way to operate. That's unprofessional. And I said to myself, Raheem Sterling was told by Chelsea, you got to go find a club. And you can't come to training with the team. Chilwell was told the same thing. Rashford was told the same thing by Man U. Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho, right? So fans have this one way of looking at things, which is, and same way with Reggae Boyz, by the way. Here's how fans look at it. I want what I want, and you do what makes me feel good. I don't care about you and your family. So Isak should stay at Newcastle because they're going to pay him much less money, and he ain't going to win no Premier League because they're not there yet. They may eventually. But because he wants to go, he can't down tools. But you can put me to go in the wilderness, go train. You can go train by myself, and I should just suck it up. And fans don't give a hoot. They don't talk about you. Do Arsenal fans talk about Partey anymore? I know Partey has some problems. They talk about Partey. I'm talking about Zubimendi. Partey's forgotten, who was probably one of our best players last year, right? We don't care. We have a replacement. We move on. So I tell players, look out for number one first. Because fans are a hypocrite, and the media is a hypocrite. Don't listen to them. Do your thing. Wissa wants the move. He's 29. Brentford is saying, no, want to keep you. Man, see, I got to go. I'm going to make some more money. Because some of these players don't make as much as you think they make, you know. We always see the big six players and how much money they make. A lot of these players makes 20,000, 25, 30,000. They ain't making no 100,000. Only Arsenal playing Nelson 100. So Nelson making 100,000. And when they make that much, you can't sell them. That's why, man, you can't sell Sancho, can't sell Anthony, can't sell Rashford. They make too much money. Anthony probably make about almost, not Anthony, Sancho makes what, 2 something, Rashford 3 something. They couldn't sell the hair either. They make too much money. So at the end of the day, it's a very difficult situation for the players and for the clubs, but you guys got to work through it. But I would expect, actually, that Liverpool to be the favorite and to possibly win the league. Not say they're going to win it, but to possibly win the league. DJ Geek says the same people have a problem with a player that do the best for them. We're quick to fright off a player when they think that's of course. And in England, they're the kings of doing that. They don't give a what about any player. So long as he's playing, well, if he's playing for them, playing well, he's the greatest thing since sliced. The minute his form dips, or the minute he says, you know what, I gotta go someplace else, he's the worst player ever. And if you're black, they're gonna be racist to you, and they're gonna just be really rude and horrible. Not a good thing. Sam said, Kranky, sometimes a horse that is bred in the purple don't always win the Derby. Well, Casey always does, so I think you're wrong on that. But yeah, it's interesting. So look, I think Liverpool is in the driver's seat. They have a really good team. The only place they have some challenge right now is in their center half position because they have sold Kwanzaa. Kanadi probably will go to Real Madrid next year. Van Dijk is still good, but I'm sure he's going to drop off at some point. And Gomez is always injured. So they don't have a backup. I know they want Mark Goey from Crystal Palace, but they don't have a backup. So they need to get a backup. But Liverpool is set. Arsenal, the one I think we need a person on the left. I heard Rodrigo is going to stay at Real Madrid. We need somebody on the left. Now, I would love to have Eze. I don't think Eze is a need. I think Eze is a want, and a really great want. But I don't think it's a need because I have anyone near me to back up Odegaard. So it's not a need. We need a wide player, and we don't have any dynamic players, which is rare acted and weird. We don't have dynamic players, you know. Saka is not dynamic. Saka is effective and efficient. He's not dynamic. I was watching him playing against we played Newcastle and then we played Tottenham. Jet Spence locked him down. People. Some little man said Jet Spence not good. Anybody said Jet Spence not good, you don't know about football. Let me say that again. Anybody who said Jet Spence not good, you don't know anything about football. Nothing about football. You should give up your football. Any license you have, anything you have in football, give it up. You don't know nothing about football. I know Conte didn't rate Jet Spence and didn't play him. Conte don't like who he likes. Jet Spence is a brilliant defender. Didn't say he's a brilliant right back in terms of offensively. He's a brilliant defender. I don't think Saka beat him. I think Saka tried to almost beat him one time in the game, and he hit the ball too far ahead. He couldn't go by him. Jet Spence fears no forward, and most times he locks down who he's playing against. And he can play right, he can play left. Last year, Tottenham played him on the right wing position. I wish we had gotten him. I hope Tuchel doesn't select him for England, and I hope we go back to try to get him. I know we're supposed to get a couple right backs, or one right back, but I think he would be the best one for us because defensively, he's a beast. I first saw him about 3-4 years ago. We played Nottingham Forest, and he was playing. Was it Nottingham Forest or Middlesbrough? I think it was Nottingham Forest. He was at Middlesbrough, and he was playing against. I think he was playing against Martinelli. He just shut him down. That's how Spurs bought him from that game, I think. But anyway, really good player. Looked really good. Had Jamaican heritage. I know some people have spoken to him. One of my friends did actually, who knows his mom, say he wants to play for England, but I hope he changes his mind. If he doesn't get picked for England, I'll be surprised he doesn't get called up next time. There's no better right back in England. Seriously. No better right back defender in England. Not Trent, not James, none of them. They're not better defensively. Trent is brilliant offensively and can put a ball on a dime, but not better defensively. Jet Spence is ridiculously good defensively. But I digress. So we don't have the dynamic players because Martinelli can't find it. It's played like Cephas. He can't find the coins on the ground. They're lost. And we don't have enough. Madueke, I want to see him play. He's still out because he was on vacation. He's probably back in training now, I would hope. But he's more of a right player on the right side and left. So it's going to be tough for us. But we only gave up about 32 goals, something like that last year, which was best in the league by a good distance. And a lot of times we gave up late goals or what they call a full goal. Not good goals. Giving up goals to West Ham and to Villa late and to Brentford late. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll get in a lot of. Last year we got like 3 or 4 red cards in a short period of time. Even the one against City, we had one against Bournemouth. We had one where it wasn't a foul and they got a red card. So if we can play with our heads more this year, it'd be tough for Liverpool to just run away with the league. Yeah, Jargon. No, Jargon. He's a brilliant defender. I've watched him for a while now. I watched him when we played the games the first time. That's when I started tracking him because for Jamaica mainly, not because for England. But I was a bit disappointed when my friend spoke to his mom and she said that talking to him, he wants to, and I heard him say it on another channel too, he wants to play for England. So he's waiting for England actually. But I think it's somebody I'd go back for. Because I think with him in the defense, to me he's a world-class defender. I'm gonna say he's a world-class right back, he's a world-class defender. There's very few people. I saw him on Saka racing for a ball. It wasn't even close in terms of speed. Saka is not the quickest anyway, but it wasn't close. Now, one player that's impressed me that we played against, even though he didn't score in that game, is Rafael Leao from Milan. His speed is off the chart. We need to we have players who can put the ball behind, whether it's Rice or Odegaard, Zubimendi. We need somebody like him on the wing, not Martinelli, who can't find his coins. But anyway, enough about Arsenal. We're in a good spot. I like the window. Goalkeeper is going to be an interesting one. He scored 50-something goal, 54 and 52 last year, 90-something, about close to 100 games. So that should be interesting about how we end up. Kranky, you know if he related to Jules Spence? No. No, I don't know. But I know a friend of mine, Tony, knows his mom actually. So he had a conversation with her and she spoke to him. And he's waiting for England, and understandably, but he was something I'd love to have in our team. So if I go to different, so we have Arsenal, we have Liverpool. If I go to to Man City, they bought a few players. No household name as far as I'm concerned today. They bought you from France. What's his name? Turkey. I know who messed things. I'm not messing up his name. Reinders. I mess up all the Man City people names. People. Ed Nori from Wolves. They bought about 4 players I see, but they're good players. They're not exceptional players. They're good players. They're good players. I can't knock the players they bought, but I'm not. It's not they bought a Gokares who has this big reputation as a striker, or a Isak, or a Wirtz, right? They're good players that they bought. So the expectation would be that, given who they had before with the Haalands of the world, now they did lose De Bruyne, they did lose Walker, but Walker was on his way out already. So they haven't bought any exceptional players. They did shop a lot in January, right? Mamouche came in January, and he's going to be good in the EPL. But at the end of the day, I think Man City. I don't think Man City's going to win the league. I know everybody think Pep. Pep can only do so much. I don't think they're going to win the league. I think if Liverpool gets I think the best transfer window so far, I think there's a tie between Arsenal and Liverpool, right? Liverpool got a right back and a left back to replace Trent and replace the current left back. So I do think, and they got a 10, which wasn't a needed a 1, because they have a good midfield. McAllister, Gravenberg, and the Hungarian are a very good midfield tandem. And then they add, so somebody got to sit on the bench. They got words to it. Somebody got to go on the bench now of the 4. Don't know who's it going to be. And they had Salah. They have Gakpo. Nunes would be sold. They lost Jota. They brought it Ekitike. If they bring in Isak and we bring in Eze, they have a better transfer window than us. I'll admit that, given what they have. If we bring in Eze and they don't bring in Isak, I think we just nip them in terms of transfer. Because transfer is about 2 things, right? Quality players you're bringing in and what your needs are, and squad depth. So we didn't have squad depth with a bunch of academy players on our bench. We will now have much better squad depth. I mean, you think about squad depth, and it's going ridiculous. Calafiore on the bench, Nwaneri on the bench, Madueke on the bench, Havertz on the bench, Jesus when he comes back. It'd be a very good bench. Kepa on the bench. So it'd be a very good bench, people. Nogard on the bench. It'd be a very good bench. It's not a bad bench. In fact, most of them are starters. You think about all those players were starters probably in the year before, actually. So apart from, say, Nwaneri. So it'd be a good bench. It's a different Liverpool, but maybe a better Liverpool. I think Frimpong can replace Trent. He's a better defender than Trent, and he's an offensive player. Kirkes, Richardson, what am I forgetting? Liverpool left back. It'll come to me from Scotland. I think Kirkes is a brilliant left back. I watched him play against, too much people shut down Saka now. I watched him play against Saka last year, and against Bournemouth, him shut him down. And he goes forward, and his crossing is brilliant. Now, he's very, very good. I heard about him, and I heard, what's his name, waxing lyrical about him, the South American guru, talking about him, that he's going to be an exceptional player. So we'll see what happens. No, I haven't got to Chelsea yet, people. No, not jump this gun. So I'm not going to Chelsea yet. We just have Arsenal, Liverpool. I'm going to Chelsea. I've got to Man City. I want to talk about the Big Six, the traditional Big Six. Now, Chelsea have got a lot of players. With Esteveos, you guys talk about Gittins, Pedro. The one I like a lot, Jarell Hato, who we're trying to get. We looked at him last year. He was Ajax captain at 17. We looked at him last year, and we didn't spend the money. I think it was about maybe a little bit less, 30 or less than 30 mil. They got him for less than 50 mil. He's supposed to be a brilliant player who can play center half and left back, and help Cucurella. So no, Chelsea bought like 7 or 8 players. They have so many players, you get confused sometimes. And they're going after Yavi Simmons now. So they have a lot of players. Chelsea have a lot of players. And Chelsea won the Club World Cup, so I'm sure they're full of themselves. They feel good about themselves. They feel good about where they are. They had bought what? Esugo also. They have a lot of players, you know. They bought Delap for 30 million, which is a steal. So what they do is they buy young. They have transfer value. They're good players with significant potential. And it's a venture capital model. It's about profit. It's a business model. It's not a little bit of football. It has a lot to do with football, but it doesn't have a lot to do with football. It's all about making money. I buy you young. I give you a long contract. It's a small amount going to my book in terms of cost. I can sell you on for a decent profit. I sell you. Or if I keep you, can help me win. I can generate more commercial revenues. It's strictly business. But Chelsea, I think, have a chance to do up there. If I was to pick the top 4 right now, it's those 4. It's Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea. And I'd be surprised if Liverpool or Arsenal doesn't finish first, second. Man City could still come back. I think it's going to be hard for Man City, though. Unless they get, like, I don't know, Rodri's back. So that's a new signing, basically. I think defensively, though, they're challenged. I don't think they're the best defensively. I don't think they have fixed the defense. They have the same old people doing the same old thing. We're getting found out. But Rodri makes a big difference because he protects the defense well. He starts to play well, and he plays through the line really well. He does everything well. He's really a conductor. He's a Busquets 2.0 with more physicality. So Chelsea's in a good spot. Chelsea won the Club World Cup. I'm sure they beat PSG. Their confidence is way up there. And they didn't even have Lavia that much, plus the new signing. And if you hear Vickery from South America talk about, what's his name, Estevao? Estevao, I think that's his name, or Estevao. He talks about him like he's the next coming up. I wouldn't call it Messi, but a brilliant player. So it should be interesting, actually, how that works out. But no, Chelsea has a really good window. Now, for the other 2 teams who normally top 6, Man U has only bought 2 known players in Cunha and Mbeumo. 2 very good players, by the way. But to me, they need legs in the middle. They have a Ugarte who they bought from PSG, but he hasn't hit the ground running. Casemiro is still old. Meno fell off last year. They have behind-the-scenes problem. They will be better this year, but and I think Fernandes is playing really well and operating more like a captain. It's like he's maturing. But it's going to be interesting. Manu is pursuing Sesko just like Newcastle is. So if they get Sesko, bless up man of God. If they get Sesko, then it's going to be interesting to see. Then their front 3 will be good. And they have the little kid, what's his name? He'll come to me. So they have a front 4 that's good. Right? They have a front 4 that's good. A good front 4. If they get Sesko, which they may get instead of Newcastle, getting him. If they get Sesko, they have Cunha, they have Mbeumo, and they have I don't know why the little kid who was playing really well, scored last year a few goals and got injured. Name is slipping me. But they have a good front 4. But the middle is still a challenge. And defense is a challenge. And people are saying they need a goalie. I think I like their goalkeeper. He just makes a lot of mistakes, which is good for us. So it's going to be interesting for Man U where they are. They won this Premier Cup in the competition with Everton and West Ham. That's their quality opponents they should be playing. That's the level they are. But they're going to get better. They're going to get better. And Boyma hasn't played much for them so far. They're going to get better. If we go to Tottenham, we've had an interesting window. Now, Tottenham's window, they try to get Gibbs White. And when you have a release clause, normally you just, if you want to get the person, just trigger the clause, pay the money, get him. Just like we're trying to do with Eze. So we don't want to play Eze 60 million plus 8 add-ons. We want to pay in the 50s. But if you want to get a player, then what you have to do is pay the release clause. Now, somehow, the owner of Nottingham Forest, who's a bully, who bullied this coach at the end of the year, and looked like he bullied Gibbs White. Do you guys see the interview with Gibbs White Diallo. Thanks, Jargon. I don't know why I forgot Diallo's name. You guys saw the interview with Gibbs White when the owner was on the field and looked like he gonna beat him if he don't say the right thing. It's very few times I see a player playing for a club that just came from the championship a few years ago have a chance to go to a Big Six team. We're in Champions League. You can pay them more money. I don't know how much Forest increases wages and decide to stay. If he goes to Tottenham, he would have started because right now Tottenham lost Madison for the year. So even if he was battling with Madison, and I think he would have started over Madison, he would have started. Tottenham have a problem. They may go after Eze because they don't have a 10 now. They lost Madison for the year. They didn't get Gibbs White. They bought Kudos from West Ham, who had a so-so year last year, but was a good player. I think he'll get better this year. They triggered a loan for Battistel, who came from Bayern. Didn't hit the ground running, but he cost about 32. Kudos started about 55. They bought what's his name? Palina, who was at Fulham, went to Bayern, didn't work out, was a brilliant CDM. So if he is anything like he was when he was at Fulham, he should help them. But they lost Son, who I think was a legend for them, actually, and who played his last game for them when they were in South Korea the other day. So they need to replace him, but they must have known they're going to lose him anyway. So I'm sure they have somebody in mind. But their window hasn't been great. And then and by the way, people, I have an article talking about this on my website. So go under on sports, international, EPL, and there's an article there which talks about a lot of this. And then last but not least, we have Newcastle, whose window hasn't started. Right? They bought one player, Elanga, for 50-something mil from Nottingham Forest. They couldn't get Wissa. They couldn't get Ekitike. They're having a problem keeping Isak. They're struggling getting Sesko. They can't get anybody. They're having nobody want to live in Newcastle. You ever been to Newcastle, people, or just drive by there? I don't live in no industrial town where God forgotten. That's the reason. Trust me. And they don't have the name either. They have owners who got money, but they gotta make sure they subscribe to PSR rules. So that's their problem, right? That is their problem. And the question for them is, who are you gonna get? If I was them, I'm not selling Isak unless I can get like a Wissa and a Sesko, both actually. I would sell Isak if I can get 140 plus 10 add-ons from Liverpool. I buy Wissa for 40 because Brentford they want about 50. But Wissa is 29. You can't get no 29 for 50. I know he scored about 19 Premier League goals and about 4 assists, but you can't score no. I don't think I'll pay 50. I'll pay probably 40 plus 10 add-ons for Wissa because I'm desperate. So if you get it 140 and you pay 75 for Sesko, you pay 50 for Wissa. If you pay 70 for Sesko plus add-ons, 50 for Wissa, that's 120. You still have 20 plus 10 left, you know. You can buy Wissa and Sesko have money left over right now. Now, Sesko is not proven the Premier League. Wissa is. So you have two dynamic center forwards because Sesko is about 6'5". He can play with the ball at his feet. He can score in the air. He can score left or right foot. And Wissa is dynamic. And people realize how dynamic Wissa is. So you're talking about, I have change left over those two. So it's two for the price of one. Isak versus Sesko and Wissa, I think, get Sesko over the line. They may be in a better place if they sell him. Right? Maybe a better place if they sell him. And don't be like Barcelona, who took the Neymar money and wasted it. Who is on loan, Reagan? I know Paulina is on loan, but they have an option to buy him for 30-something mil. Nah, he missed too much goals. They don't want Jackson. And Chelsea wants 70 million for Jackson. Chelsea is a very interesting club. We paid 50 million plus for Madueke. Chelsea just they know how to sell players. We don't. We're awful. They sold Hazard to Real Madrid. Did Hazard play any quality against Real Madrid for 100 mil? When he was close to 30? Crazy. Isak cannot go to Liverpool. And he's going to go to Liverpool. He's going to Liverpool. I know Eddie Howe want to keep him, but I think going to Liverpool. So that was EPL, people. That was EPL. EPL is in an interesting place in terms of the transfer window. The transfer window closes on September 1st, so there's a lot of time left. There's about 3.5 weeks left in the transfer window, almost 4 weeks. There's a lot of time left, people, to get players. Now, you want to get players early. You want to get them before the transfer window closes because you want to embed them in your squad, implement them in your squad, so you can start the season running. And the good thing that we have done is buy them early, bed them in, so we can go compete, right? Liverpool did the same. You know these people, the Man City did the same, Chelsea did the same. Chelsea's still buying, though. All the top teams have, Liverpool may buy another one in Isak. We may buy Eze if we can come up with the money. Chelsea may buy Yavi Simmons, but most of the top, and Man City's done, it looks like. Most of the top teams have bought their players already. And so when you see Newcastle struggling, Villa is all over the place, Tottenham struggling, and Manchester didn't help Tottenham. But the teams that are at the top of the chart, who got the money, who's been prominent, who are doing well, they're the ones who have very, very good transfer windows. So the good or the very good have gotten better, and there's a distance being created between those four and the rest of the pack. I think Man U will come good this year, better this year, but I'm still not sold on Amarin. So let's go to Reggae Boyz, people. Let's talk about Reggae Boyz football. Now, if we think, let me say think, but I can't forget my HE. If we think about Reggae Boyz football, we have had an interesting journey of late, as everybody knows, about the Speid McClaren situation. The question I asked myself, and by the way, people, please go to my article. By the way, I'm going to be egotistical and say I think it's a very well-written article. I think it's a good article. It's on my website. It's under sports. I think it's International CONCACAF, and then it's there. I have it linked to the video that we did, and also have the article below it. So read the article and come back to me. Tell me your thoughts on the article. I think it was a balanced article, and I think it sort of talked through some of the things that people should be thinking about. Yeah, Brian, I'm satisfied with your purchase. I need Eze, though. I need Eze, Brian. Brian is talking about Arsenal. I need Eze, Brian. We need Eze. Odegaard, to me, is not effective enough to sitting at 10 24/7. He's not scoring goals. Eze put the ball in the net. Eze bamboos the people. We don't have too many dynamic players. We need Eze. But I digress. Back to Reggae Boyz football. And by the way, people, I'm going to check the site. Please go on the site. Please register for the site. And please respond to the poll that I have. Let me check the poll. There's not one. Nobody knows how to site yet. I don't see nobody click on the poll. Rotted. This is horrible. People, I have 3 polls on the site. It's in the right-hand corner down to the bottom. I'll put it up again. I'll promote things. See, people, I have 3 polls down here. I'm going to go back to the Reggae Boyz. Don't worry about it. So there are 3 polls. People, go sign up for the site, people, and hit the buttons here for these things. All right? I have 3 polls. One poll is about who going to win the EPL this year. Second poll is about which party would you vote for if you could vote in Jamaica. Which party would you vote for? And then third is what's the most important issue for the election or issues for the election? So people go sign up here, sign up right here with my profile, and then you can fill out the poll, right? God, not treat me bad, boy. I tell you. You're big and you can't get nothing. So if we think about the Reggae Boyz, people, let's go back to the Reggae Boyz. I need to know, and if we don't have that information, which is, I know what the President Ricketts has said about what Speid's role is, but I'm not sure that's totally transparent. I don't know what it is to be, you're doing strategy, you're scouting an opponent. First of all, Speid didn't play Bermuda. Speid didn't play Curacao. And Speid, this Trinidad side is a different side. So how does Speid knowledge in this region, supposedly one of the criteria for him being the technical advisor, how does that translate to him helping the team prepare for these teams when Bermuda's probably an English team or English American team, Curacao is a Dutch team, and Trinidad is a mixture of bringing in players from different places and some who we haven't really even seen that much before. So I don't know how that works. So that component of the criteria for why he's been hired, I don't know how much I believe that. I don't know how much I believe that, people. That don't make a lot of sense to me. But let's go back to the thing, which is, how does that work? I mean, I heard Rudolph saying, was it on the radio or in the media? Is it in the media saying that Hugginson wanted him, or past coaches wanted him, and the coach wanted him. I'm not gonna say he's lying. I'm just gonna say I'm not buying it. Sorry, can't sell it to me. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Because here's the problem, people, with Rudolph going in. Rudolph is a coach, right? You bring him as technical advisor. He's not the technical director for the Reggae Boyz. So he's a coach coming in as a technical director. Coach want to do coaching things. They want to, or manager thing. They want to tell you who should play and who shouldn't play and what strategy should employ or deploy. So if you say we should play transition football and McClaren said we're going to play possession football, how does that work? That's a problem. And as I've said this before numerous times, how you tell your boss, you know what, boss, nah, the way I say no. So I don't know how McClaren's role, Speid's role, and then Meron Gordon's role, more so than Trevor Sinclair. I don't know what Trevor did anyway. I know he's on the side. I don't know what he does. Because he doesn't know the region. So I guess it must be the technical stuff that they do in their training. But Meron Gordon, to me, main role was probably knowing the local players and being able to provide guidance to the coach. How does that work in terms of local players now for Meron Gordon? What role does Meron play? Is Meron helping them do drills and whatever they do, international window? How does that work? How does Speid's role affect all those individuals, or Speid too high on the food chain to be doing the manual coaching stuff? He's going to do more of the strategic thinking. And then secondly, and most importantly, I haven't heard other players view this. Do the players ever say, do they have a perspective? Has anyone engaged the players to find out how they feel about this? Huh? Because I'm curious about that, right, people? How the players, I haven't heard from any player, and I'm sure players are going to be silent because a lot of these players are normally silent anyway. How does that work? Does Speid call the shots? Also, I want to know, what does McClaren do outside the international window? We've asked this question a lot, right? Because most time I see Pochettino and others at games watching players. I've never seen Marina. Maybe don't watch all the games, but I've never seen the coach. I've never seen the coach at any game. Have you guys seen the coach at any games, people? When you're watching games where Jamaican players are playing or Jamaican nationals are playing, whether it's Russell or whether it's Pinnock or whether it's I wouldn't say Antonio because he's been out for a while. Whether it's Mothersill to gain how he's doing. I know Mothersill scored this weekend, by the way. I did watch part of the game. Let me call it buck-up goal. But he's a good player. I don't see him in any games, so I don't know how that works, what he does in the national window. And who's most affected by Speid's role? Is that Sinclair? Is that Gordon? Is that McClaren? And here's my last question in that vein, actually. When in the hell are we getting a technical director for the national program? Huh? When are we getting a technical director, people? So Rudy says, players don't care. The main core players are coming to making the World Cup. Players care. No, players will care. Well, first of all, Tuffy, they got to listen to somebody, right? Whose voice carry the most weight? Who should they listen to? Because I can tell you, their players are certain players Speid may not like, who I like, for example. I ain't gonna call no names, but in terms of them being part of the national program. Like, for example, I'm sure Speid influenced the Busy Atkins being in the squad. him and Maron Gordon. I didn't think Busy should be in the squad that went to the Unity Cup. I don't think Busy, well, not Unity Cup. He could be in the Unity Cup squad. I don't think Busy should be going as a midfielder to the Gold Cup. I don't even know what the hell that was. That was one of the dumbest moves ever in football. And then secondly, playing him as a 10 where he was totally lost, which is unfair to the kid, because he should be on the wing. If you're going to bring him and play him on the wing. And then you gave Tyrese Campbell no playing time. Damn. You know something? I forgot these people. I did interview Tyrese Campbell in Jamaica, for a short window, maybe 3 or 4 questions. I've forgotten about it. I was going through some tapes that I have and saw. So I played. It was a good conversation. I think I asked him about 3 questions. I only had a short time to interview him, but we're not doing some media duties down there. Good night, Kranky. McClaren was at a Reggae Girls game when they played England. Okay. Well, I'm sure he's not recruiting a Reggae girl for our national team. So but I have not seen him any games when any Reggae Boyz or potential Reggae Boyz are playing. Yeah, it was malpractice. Speid will not hesitate to bench number 7. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to what here's what I like about this old appointment. So let me tell you something. When squad pick now, excuse me, people. Give me a second, people. I need some liquid. Here's what I like, people. When squad pick, Rudolph can't say, boy, me never involved, and me wouldn't pick that squad there, wouldn't pick this player, wouldn't pick 2 midfielders. There's no excuse now. I've said this before. The JFF, including Rudolph, gets the squad before we did. None of them, I some pattern on. None of them never call out or we call out on YouTube. What means to me call out. None about other people. Say I 2 midfielder in that squad. None of them call it out. But all of a sudden, when them go tournament and it work out well, and we call it already, me wouldn't pick that team there. Me wouldn't pick them player there. Where were you before? Rudolph, you may be watching the program. Me ask that question, Rudolph. Where were you before? Can you get the squad before the squad drop? You, the president, the GenSec, all of them get it. The media person, Simon, get it. Me I call Simon out too. All of them get it. One no influence. None of them no call it out. None of them call out 2 midfielder. And it looked like a 5 midfielder, but only 2. Because Hayden was going back to England. Me said it's 101 time. Me still beat it out. Just maybe beat out the under 20 who get 20 love. Or 15 or whatever they get. Now stop call it out. Certain things you have to call out till you run down the ground. 2 midfielder in that team. 2, I don't call them, they get a midfielder. Right? Busy wasn't a midfielder, as we know. Hayden was going back to England, as we know, and Johnson was injured. So everybody knew that. If I knew that, then they should know that. And the squad was picked and put out before. I'm going to hear nobody call it out. Nobody call it out. And I know what the squad is before we all know. Why before we know? So why didn't they call it out? All of a sudden, that big deal. I mean, people like Marv talk about it. That don't make no sense to me. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. But anyway, that done. So this time around, there's no excuse. He's part of the establishment now. He can't go hide no more and say he wouldn't do something to that. Can't hide. End up on the firing line. And what's going to be Jamaican style? Because Speid love play counter-attacking football and people. You must call it the sophisticated name, transition football. Him love play counter-attacking football. You can call it my man call it. Can we talk about transition? No, it's not counter-attack, it's transition. And transition from offense to defense and defense to offense. You gotta get that right. And like somebody's got school and learn one term. I want to use the term all the time. And fine, you want to use the term, use the term. Play counter-attacking football. And McClaren say want to play position football, even though I'm not sure McClaren know what that means. I've never seen him play no position football. So we'll see how that works, people. In terms of what type we play, what style we play, and how who wins out in terms of how we should play. All right. We want to talk about starting 11. There should be about 3 or 4 players coming in. I don't know if 3 or 4 can come in. I expect Greenwood to come in, even though I hear Rudolph itching his bet, or we call it, I put it on the fence, saying that I'm not sure about Greenwood. My understanding is that Greenwood have all them papers themselves should be coming. If Greenwood don't come, I'm not injured. I understand that. Right? I understand that. In can't play with England, so they might come play with Jamaica. And they got to do everything 2 weeks before the window opens, so they might as well get it done sooner versus later. But Greenwood Greenwood should be able to come. Rico Henry should be able to come. If you can get in papers them. Rico should be able to come. Max Aarons, I think, is a more different one because Max is playing for Rangers. Rangers playing in the Champions League qualification in the rounds. So I'm not sure if we're going to have time because you got to go to Jamaica to go pick up his papers. I'm not sure you're going to have time to do so. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then there are a couple more players who are on the fringes who we hope to bring in. One of them, I'm not sure he won't come, even though he might go through the process. The other one won't come, but in papers never totally straight the last time I checked. So we'll see. Someone said Demari. Let me see what TC says. DC says Tycoon and saw videos of Demari and Burnham. Yeah, I think the coach came out and said Demari wasn't fit. So I think Demari is now getting fit. So we'll see how that works out. And Ketterak told me that a player is in the EPL is trying to come work on his papers. I don't know who that player is. I only know about 5. I don't know about him. And the other players that they would want, but we don't know how that's working out. Same old. So not sure how that's working out. No midfielders I know about. Now the question I'm going to ask is people like Mothersill, are they going to get an opportunity, right? Because Mothersill is playing well. He's playing for Stockport. He played on the weekend, scored a goal. Got it, buck up goal, call it at Jamaica. Tap in. But he plays across the entire front line. He can play left wing, right wing, 10, 9. He can play everywhere the way he plays. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, so don't know. But we may only get 2. See, what thing just come in a while ago. We only get 2. We may only get, even just we get 2. Green, we're getting papers, and we know that. Rico and Michigan get his papers. I'd heard Max Aarons was close, but I don't know. And if my understanding is that if Mothersill, I just got a text. If Mothersill sign up, if Mothersill, and we know Mothersill has citizenship, right? Because we know the coach that goes back and forth on that. The coach call up Mothersill, he's gonna be available. He can come get his passport in Jamaica. You know, he can get his passport in Jamaica now at DR, so that's how Hayden got his. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting window. I thought we'd have had 3 to 4 players in this window, but apparently we may only have 1 to 2 to 3. We're not sure yet. We may have none. Because Greenwood for this I've complained now. One thing I was reading something on Greenwood, which is I think Marseille just paid over about mid-20s for him, and now he's been valued by transfer market about £49 million. So Man U get a 50% sell-on clause. So Marseille probably don't have the incentive to sell him, because if they sell him and they only get half the money, it's gonna be what they pay for him. It don't make no sense. So I don't think I would ever give somebody 50% sell-on clause on any player. Not happening. Unless they gave it to me for free. Saudi Arabia for who? Greenwood should go to Saudi Arabia. No, we're not saying no Greenwood. We're saying that's a Greenwood decision. Will Antonio be in the squad? We expect Antonio to be in the squad. Antonio is probably close to being fit now. We expect him to be in the squad. If Greenwood doesn't show up for the next 4 games, no matter how good he is, don't want him after we qualify. I have no comments on that. Antonio bet himself again, but I think he should be taking the deal with West Ham. Look, Partey bet on himself, didn't work good. I think Partey signed for Valencia this week, or he's going to sign for Valencia. I think he probably get much less money than he would have gotten on Arsenal. He bet on himself, didn't work out. The rape case didn't help him. And then I don't think Green will go to Saudi Arabia. I don't think that's happening. Now, you know how much money millions Greenwood situation cost him? A lot of money. But I don't think he's going to Saudi Arabia. I don't see that happening. I know Max Aarons was really pushing to come play for the Reggae Boyz. I know he's really interested in coming. So if his papers don't work out, it's not because of the player. because of the process. And by the way, people, so I have some shows this week. I have one show tomorrow where Leighton Levy, as you know, is a track and field aficionado, but it's money about sports. Coming on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Jamaica time, 7 p.m. US time to talk sports, talk about his background, talk sports. So you guys should come and watch it and bring track and field aficionado because you're going to make predictions. I'm going to have him make predictions and talk enough about it. And by the way, he has a channel, Mr. Analyst. Please go subscribe to his channel. I expect, I'm traveling. I'm doing some traveling, something Wednesday, but I do want to do a show on Wednesday talking about the naturalization process. I have a couple kids in England who are trying to get naturalized. I've mentioned this before. So I made the show Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm not sure when yet because I have some things I have to work on. But those kids haven't been naturalized yet, and they put their papers in 2022. The parents I've discussed with the parents quite a bit for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm gonna do a show on that, and then there are a couple more shows I do want to do on some of the topics. So I'll do a show on Holness situation, but maybe on the other channel. And I have a couple more shows I do want to do, and I'm probably gonna start doing some other stuff. But I do appreciate the support. Actually, I do appreciate the show very much so. But go back to the Reggae Boyz. I'm gonna wrap up now because I do have to run. I say I have an emergency earlier. I decided I had someone substituting for me. Got to go to the hospital now, and as soon as I leave the show. But I want to get the show done before I jump out. I'll say this: I'm not as confident as I was before. So we have backtrack because I thought we were getting 4 players. People, I was having conversations throughout the entire summer. I thought it was 4 players. It don't look good. It don't look good. I'm not that confident in this team that we have right now. We beat Trinidad in the Unity Cup. But that was Trinidad BRC team we beat. It wasn't them A team. And they still was better in the middle than we were. Now, I hope Hayden gets a team because I know he's leaving Newcastle. I hope Russell's form improve. I hope Gray gets fit and I hear he's getting fit. So we have I hope Bailey improves, even though Bailey's Bailey. I hope Greenwood comes. There's a lot of hoping. I am not as confident as I was before. I'm serious. I was guaranteed. I thought we could get 4 players in. Henry left back, Max Aaron's right back. We figure out the center half with Pinnock. May have Hayden in the middle with Russell and somebody else. And then may have up front, may have Greenwood, may have Bailey, may have Gray, may have Antonio. We can interchange them. And now, and season not even started because we may even get injured. No, we don't know what we have. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. People, please hit the like button. 156 are you? 150, 140, 140 likes. We can do better, people, because the likes were higher before. Am I losing my mic? What happened here? I think I lost my mic. Can you guys hear me? Okay, now I think I got it back. So I'm gonna close this down soon because, as I said, I have to run off to the hospital because I should have gone there earlier, but I decided to get the show done because I set it up and I said I want to get it done. Before I leave, though, a couple of things, reminders. Please join tomorrow. It should be I expect a great conversation with Leighton. I met Leighton, as I said before, the inception of the show. I interviewed Leighton on Minzy's channel along with Minzy. Well, Minzy interviewed him and I was part of the conversation. Let me put it the right way. And then I met him in Jamaica. He was so gracious. He came on at halftime. And even though we couldn't even hear each other, I reached out to him to come on the program. In fact, I asked him when I was there, and he said he would. And we've been communicating. He said he'd be here tomorrow. So if you're a track and field person, if you love some cricket, even football, I can follow football, come listen to Leighton, because Leighton's a good listen. We like listening to Leighton. So let me just ask the question and just listen and shut up. And then, as I said, maybe Thursday, not Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I'll do the diaspora discussion about those kids who are trying to, just the naturalization process and how difficult it is for some people, not for everybody. And then my last point is, please go to the SSNN Live website. It's SSNN. So Sam Sharp, Nancy, Noisy, whatever you want to call it, or Nancy, Nadine, and then the word live.com. I spend a lot of time on his website, people. A lot of time, a lot of days and nights. So I'm asking for the support. I think the website works. I want to be able to have news that's authentic and not news that's made up. We don't want nobody to tell me what the news is supposed to be. Well, put the news out there, what the news it is, and put in the form that we want to and how we want to write it. No other people write it, so we're going to tell you what it's supposed to be. And on topics that we like, right? So you see me have, if you look there on my top stories, and on the slider, you notice I have topics, two of them are in Guyana, right? You know, I have a sports one there about LeBron, because that draw people, but I have about the oil in Guyana and the situation they have with Exxon, the royalty they're getting, which is two people. Go read the article. Jesus Lord. Anybody who negotiated this contract for Guyana should go to jail. I'm dead serious. They should go to jail. The contract they negotiated with Exxon about the oil they have in Guyana, anybody negotiate those, they should put them in jail. No questions asked. They shouldn't give no trial. Seriously. And my understanding is, I know somebody's in Guyana right now saying, well, I was in Guyana recently. The situation has improved in terms of people's financial condition. And even though they have a $3 billion surplus this year in terms of trade surplus, it hasn't trickled down yet. Non-trickle. Non-trickle down people. But here again is my website. I'll put it up one more time before we close out. Here's the site. Go sign up to the site. You can sign up top here. And I have a bunch of articles you can go to read. Don't go past the society. Don't go past the sports. So home news, sports are great. There's some other articles there. I need to update them because I've been working on this for like 4 months, and I wrote some articles early. They get a chance to update them, but I want to get out there and get people signed up for the site. Then I'll go in the next week or so and update all these articles. But I have 3 polls there too, people. Please go fill out the polls. I know some of you are watching, because most people watch this on your mobile. So when you're done watching on your mobile, maybe you can go into the site and sign up. And as I said before, if you go here, I do have a couple things on CONCACAF. I hope CONCACAF don't ban me now, because I read this. People, football people, read it with football articles. One on CONCACAF World Cup chances ever, one on Caribbean powerless in CONCACAF, and one on Speid as Reggae Boyz advisor. Read the articles, people, and give me your feedback. All right? I do appreciate your feedback. You know how that works. Because the only way you're going to get better is if other people review you, see what you do what you do, understand what you do, and then provide a perspective. Yeah, you gotta go. When I was doing the research on the Guyana thing, I was shocked. They might get 2% royalty. You know what the average royalty is for most countries who have oil? It's 10 to 15%. So they get 12.5% of the profits and 2% royalty. So imagine this way, because I think Exxon cost is what? So them spend 75 million. First of all, you gotta go audit the cost. It says $75 billion them spend. Really. Go audit that number. And then second, when they get the return on them costs, and then get them cost money, they split the profit, half and half. Fine. But royalty normally get and they're getting royalty on the net revenue number, not the gross revenue number, which is a big deal. Right? So I don't know how Guyana did that. I mean, I could negotiate a better contract in my sleep. Anybody could, actually. Even a person who don't say anything about contract. It's crazy. But anyway, everyone, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Drew Ross did tell me that I need to do a better job of doing more shows and more frequent shows. Bless up Sanjay Brooks. So I will do that. I plan to do that. But as I said before, it's been a really busy time. I didn't realize, if I knew how much effort it took to do this website, I wouldn't have done it. I must admit, I wouldn't have done it. But since I'm involved in it, I decided to go get it done and do it and do more of it. But if I knew the amount of time, effort, and resources mean money, it took to get it done, I would have done it. And then I gotta go subscribe to a bunch of different things if I want to get feeds in, because I have some plans to feed some things into the site or to use other people's articles and then pay them. I'm not doing that way. I gotta write everything myself because I can't afford. These people like CNN are like out of their goddamn mind. That's all I'll say. But anyway, people, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget for jamming tomorrow. Show should be good tomorrow. Don't say, boy, Kranky. Don't say anything about that, because I'm telling you, tomorrow's show should be good. I hope you can make it. Let me try to add this thing. I hope you can make it tomorrow, because I expect, look, Leighton Levy is one of my favorite person when it comes to, say, track and field. He has an encyclopedic knowledge, and he just comes across well. as it relates to how you communicate, right? And as I said, he has a channel called Mr. Analyst. Go support his channel. I'd appreciate you doing so. All right. So peace out. I don't think I'm going to play the music tonight. Peace out. Have a good night. And God bless you. Peace out. Well, you know what? I'll play the Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the course to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Tell them, Kranky life. Heed them, Kranky life. Want them, Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi heed them Kranky life. On them Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them. Want them, Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Kranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed, want, heed them.